ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Non-Stop Racing TV, presenting you here live tonight the Integrity Racing League, the All-In 250 at Daytona. Tonight your commentators here are me, Zach Meck, up here in the booth, with your second commentator over here tonight.
Dustin Chilson, and I'm glad to be with you. Here's Zach.
It's glad to be up here with you too tonight, Dustin, as we're going to have an intensifying night here tonight at Daytona. Now, Dustin, as a driver stand view here, you have raced at Daytona. Just tell me, how intensified does it get running 100 laps here? I mean, that's got to be super intense.
Yeah, Daytona is very intense, especially here in the Cup cars. I mean, we're going to have a lot of patience to run this 250 laps.
I can't agree anymore, and I think gas is definitely going to be the most important thing on these drivers' minds here tonight. Also, side drafting, door to door, all the way around the track, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, it will be very, very important to keep the draft tonight, especially if we see any long green flag runs.
Especially as we see some practicing going underway here. Let's see if we can pull a driver in for a quick interview that is not on track. As we will see if we can get a hold of the number 43 of William Dunn up here in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. How's it going?
All right, good. How are you tonight? You ready for tonight?
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm just ran some practice laps, and now I'm just hanging out until it starts.
All right, well, it's going to be a long 100 laps here tonight. We want to know what your main strategy is going to be here for tonight. You gonna try and stay in the front of the field, or do you think you're going to be in the rear of the field to try and stay away from that mid pack?
Well, we'll see how it goes. I work on Integrity Racing Team here, so we're starting all through the field, so we're not together. We would like to find each other at some point. So whether that means we kind of work our way back towards mid to back pack to get together and then go forward, or I don't know what strategy is going to be yet. We're just trying to, we'll have to see when the race gets going. I'm sure that, if it's green, there'll be one thing. If there's cautions, it'll be another, just trying to avoid the wreck. So, I don't know. I'd like to stay in front, but I think the bigger goal is to get with the team so you can be there later.
We know a big thing here tonight for these cars is fuel, but what about tires? Tell us about tires, and are they going to get worn a lot here tonight, or do you think you're going to see a lot of guys not take tires?
Yeah, I think tires are definitely going to be important. We've seen later in the runs how it gets loose entering turn 3 especially. So, longer you're on those tires, the worse it gets. So I think tires are going to be important. I think people are going to be taking tires. It may just be 2 tires, but anytime there's a caution, it's going to be 4, I assume.
All right, well, you're getting ready for this race here tonight. Before we send you back down, is there anybody you would like to thank here tonight?
I thank Jacob and all the other admins for putting on this great league. It's really fun. Look forward to it, and glad we're back for another season. Thanks to the guys on Integrity Racing Team for helping me out. We have a great time in Discord, and just look forward to it every week. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. So hopefully you guys see a good race tonight.
We hope so too, and good luck here tonight, William.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, good luck, William.
We're going to see a lot of different strategies here tonight with those tires. I can guarantee that so far, Dustin.
Yeah, I've noticed through this week of racing at Daytona, you definitely see a lot of different strategies, and sometimes that 2-tire strategy doesn't really pay off here at Daytona.
No, it does not. It can cause the cars to start to wash up the track, meaning they're going to start moving up into the higher lane from the lower lane on entry or exit. That'll cause a lot of wrecks here tonight, and that is something you do not want to happen here at Daytona. But the big one is unavoidable and is guaranteed to happen sometime here tonight.
Yeah, I think that's just a matter of time, and how big is it going to be when it does happen.
As practice does start to wind down here, we're going to head over to our national anthem here.
we take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As Non-Stop Racing TV does, salute and thank to all the men and women that do serve out for our country. As time does tick down here for the practice, we will start to head over into our grid here for tonight. Starting on the front row here tonight for the Integrity Racing League All-In Restoration 250 at Daytona. Starting on the inside, D. Kohler. Starting on the outside of row 1 will be D. Rattler. And row 2 on the inside will be J. Pike.
Zach, I pulled you. I interrupted you, I'm sorry. Look, we have an issue right now.
As Non-Stop Racing TV does apologize for that interruption, and please stand by as we do make a transition. Alright, Non-Stop Racing TV does apologize for bringing you that standby, as there was some technical errors in the server. Had to launch a new server here, and we are here ready to go, as they will get ready to qualify. As these drivers do head down into qualifying here in the next 27 seconds, we're going to see a lot of different strategies out of these guys. A lot of guys are going to run on the high line the high line on the first lap, and then to the second lap they're going to move right down to that low line, because that high line is going to help them gain the speed that they need to complete the second lap.
Yeah, that's definitely the preferred way to qualify here at Daytona, to take your best lap there on your second lap and catch up and get to speed.
As they do get ready to head over here into qualifying, as the time has expired in the session. Drivers make their way down pit road here. As they head into qualifying here, we're going to go with the number 11, one of the favorite picks from last week, to be win the race. Had a little bad move of strategy. He's going to sit on pit road, maybe wait a minute, and let his car get a little warm up here. Let's see if we can find a driver who is out on track. Look at the number 53 of James Hudson. We'll start to run that high line there, going into turn 1 and 2, getting ready to start his qualifying lap.
Okay.
As the number 53 of James Hudson does come out of turn 4 here, green flag will be waving for him. 2 laps here of qualifying. As right now he looks to be about 179, 180s now, heading into turn 1 and 2.
And it does look like he's going to take that line that we had just talked about, staying up on top of that wall there and taking the high line on lap 1.
As he tries to get up as high as he can to that wall, but without touching it, because if he does touch that wall, it automatically cancels that lap.
Looks like he's going to reach about 185 going into turn 3 here as he comes back around for his second lap.
As we will pull up the RPM meter here, just about 8,000 RPMs he is running. Coming out of turn number 4, we'll bring you the driver drop once again. He's going to reach about 184, 85 maybe. Just missed it, but he's going to move right to that yellow line.
And he puts down a 49.392 his lap 1.
Only about 3/10 off to the leader right now in position number 9. But running that low line is going to gain that 3/10 back real quick. He has a shot to get the pole here.
Yes, he does, as the pole now is all the way up to 48.95, which is a pretty quick lap here around Daytona.
That will be set by the number 63 of Jim Fife. As we will see a new fast lap set here, but will James Hudson take that? He will not. He will take position number 6 currently as of right now, moving down to 7th and falling quick. As currently right now the number William Dunn got knocked down from position number 1 to position number 3. Oh, there's a lot happening. Joseph Tice now sets the new fast lap of a 48.5. A lot of these drivers do start to bring their cars to a complete stop here. Just going to pull up our results board here real quick. And Brendan John Kohler in the number 12 now takes that top spot with 183 miles per hour average.
Yeah, we noticed second, third, and fourth there, all at a 48.57. Very, very close lap times there.
Very close, as we're seeing the second place car, Joseph Tice, only 0.01. He is 11/100ths of a second off of that pole position, and not too far behind is the number 09 of David Rattler. He is just 3/1000ths of a second off by Joseph Tice. These times are really quick here. As actually in position number 4, you're going to see a tie. Both run the same miles per hour average, but the number 42 of Tom Wetmore claims that position number 4.
Yeah, very interesting to see as we look down through these laps of that Jason Hudson lap was just the 48.63, brings him all the way down to 26th.
As these laps being separated no more than hundreds and thousandths of a second apart. As we're taking a look through the field right now. This is looking to set up to be a good race here so far tonight. Be a lot of door banging, I believe. You guys did catch a glimpse of the Daytona 500. You did see that the number 3 brought it back into victory lane 20 years later. As now they do finish with qualifying. And now we will retry the grid here. Alright, starting on the pole here tonight in the number 12, running a lap time of a 48.559, Brendan John Kohler. Starting in second on the outside lane in the first row, running a lap time of a 48.571, the number 25 of Joseph Tice. Starting in third on the inside, running a lap time of a 48.573, the number 09 of David Rattler. Starting in fourth on the outside, running a time of a 48.578, the number 42 of Tom Wetmore. Starting in fifth on the inside, and number 51, Caleb Eisenhower.
And starting in the inside in number 6, the 48 car of Adam de Blasio. Starting on the outside in the number 5, Brandon Kirkman. And starting in the number 43 on the inside will be William Dunn. Followed by number 28, Lee Piercy on the outside.
Starting in 10th on the outside lane in the number 19, Tyler Herr. Starting in 11th in the number 90, Trevor Roppolo. Starting in 12th in the number 29, Alan Pajar. Starting in 13th in the number 11, Eric de Blasio. Starting in 14th in the number 24, iconic number there, Christopher Schutzler. If I do butcher your name, I do apologize.
And starting in 15th, we have the number 17 car of Neil Frolich. Starting on the outside, number 9, Joe Slama. And starting in position 17 on the inside, we have number 73, Jason Miller. Starting on the outside in 18th position in the 18 car, we have Cody Smith. And starting in the inside, in position 19, we had the 78 car of Todd Thomas. And starting in the outside, in position 20, we have the 16 car of Lance Gettles.
And that'll round out your top 20 here for tonight. As these cars do take it down the backstretch, ready to take the green flag here tonight. As the pace car will bring them out of turn number 4 here, ready to dive down onto pit road.
And then number 12 will lead them to the green flag here, waiting for the green flag to drop. Green, green, green. Here we go racing.
As they are underway here, pedal to the metal, green flag is out. Number 12 is going to get a jump start here in the lead, going into turn number 1. Not too far, just about a car length from second place. As there is a whole outside lane, as we're going to see a car on that outside lane, number 42, dive right down to the inside.
Looks like everyone's preferred line here is that bottom line as everyone tries to drop down, and it looks like the top line is going to get left behind here as we start on lap 1.
As the top line does seem to be the line that takes the longest to form. As we did see last week, the top line didn't form until about 10 laps to go in duel number 1 and duel 2. They tried to form it in the very beginning of the race. Couldn't seem to make it happen.
Does look like that top line is going to come in here as we see the third car there jump up in front and help.
As we are seeing the top line start to form a little more there. Right now we got a 5-car pack. Got a big gap between them though. If we can get that, looks to be the number 29 up to the 19's bumper, they might have a chance at having a side-by-side here. Ooh, the number 51 is going to get a run, though, out of turn number 2. He's going to be side-by-side right now. He's going to look like he'll take the lead if he can hold it off going into turn 3.
Ooh, and he cut down there in front of the 12 car and definitely took the lead. Had to whoa that 12 car up a little bit.
12 car did have to check up there a little bit. We are going to go throwing our RPM meter here as they are redlining that down the front stretch.
What I've noticed so far in these first 3 laps is they definitely are giving a little bit more space. We don't see too many cars right on the bumper anyone else.
No, but it is definitely hard here with this draft package to get bumper to bumper. They can get pretty dang close though.
Definitely see the 51 here kind of pulling away here on the bottom side with the help from that 09 car.
Doesn't want to leave too much of a gap between him and the 09 though, as that might be able to gain the 09 a run and pass the number 51. So 51 will trail brake a little bit to keep that 09 on his bumper. As they go into turn number 1 here on lap number 4. Got my words mixed up just a little bit there. Number 51 continues to lead here so far tonight, with the number 09 in second and the number 42 in third. These drivers already looking to go 3 wide down the backstretch with the 43, 25 and 12. That 12 is going to get shoved out of that line. He's going to lose a lot of position there.
Yeah, he's going to get shuffled back here to the back of the pack almost. Just on a very, very simple mistake of getting too high there.
As we did have a driver interview with that number 43, he said he's going to go with the flow of the race, and so far we're seeing him up in the front of the pack.
That right there shows you how important it is to stay in that draft as we see that 12 car continue to fall to the back.
Let's see if we can get a good look at how far he's fallen back so far. Still falling back. Finally has somebody onto his bumper, the number 24. 24 of Christopher Schettler. Sorry if I say your name wrong or any names wrong here tonight. Do apologize. We do try our best here with these very difficult names, honestly.
Yeah, but definitely have to agree with you there, Zach.
They definitely do give us some difficult names here, but we will try our best as they come out of front stretch going into turn number 1 here on lap 6 of 100. Still bumper to bumper, but we do see some packs starting to break up here as we're going to take a look towards a little farther back in the pack. See if we can get to that other group. It's going to be about position number 30, the number 44 of Jimbo Hickson is going to be leading that end pack there. Looks like they might be laying up a little bit, waiting for something to happen. As we'll take it even a little farther back into this pack here, we're going to see the number 36 of Jacob Fife. He's going to be laying back a little bit. Looks like he's going to be playing some strategy move here. Looks like maybe going to stay in the rear of this field, and so if a big one happens, he has time to avoid it.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what these guys are doing here in the back of the pack. They're just, you know, feeling out this race. They know that there's 100 laps, and they have time to make their time up if they need to.
As we do head back to the front of the pack here, the number 25 of Joseph Tice will lead that lap there on the outside.
Yeah, they definitely have a couple more cars there on the top line, getting a better push, and they've spread out a little bit there at the bottom.
As we do see a top line there forming. About a 5-car line right there, but that's just enough for the number 25 to powerhouse past that 51. Will he go low into the turn? No, the 51 will get a run actually going into turn 3.
The 25 definitely had an opportunity there to come down, but chose to stay on that high line right in front of the 48.
May have felt maybe that momentum from the 51 was just too strong, and if he went down to go block, may have caused a big wreck. And that's too early on in the race to start blocking like that. As though the 25 does lead that lap again.
You see the 48 getting out of the draft there a little bit and may possibly go 3 wide here going into turn number 3.
As they are 3 wide currently right now, that is killing that momentum of that high line there, as now the 25 starts to lose that powerhouse move onto the outside, and he doesn't have anybody to help him.
And as we see the number 12 car work his way back up, he definitely was not going to get stuck out there again.
No, he definitely was not, as now he's back up trying to fight for that lead right now, but still a little early on, only on lap 10 of 100 here. Got 91 laps here to go. It's going to be a long race.
Yes, it will, and you know, we are 10 laps in and we have no cautions yet, which is very good for these drivers to work it out on the track.
I definitely see a lot of relaxing so far, I should say, from these drivers. Nobody seems to be pushing it too hard. They look like they all know that this is a long race. Just take your time, draft, and let's not cause any big wrecks here so far early on.
And up front we see the 25 car finally got that run on the outside and dropped down to the bottom line in front of the 51 to lead that lap there.
As he does continue to lead here so far tonight, has led 3. That was actually the 51 that led 6. Joseph Tice has led 3 of 11 laps so far here tonight. And the other lead laps are the number 51 of Caleb Eisenhower and the number 12 of Brendan Fuller.
We almost see this bottom line, well, before the 51 jumped up there to the top line, they were getting a run and kind of pulling away from the top line there.
That was a little sketchy move right there by that number 51, but he wants that lead back, and wow, the number 25 seemed to have just barely led that lap by thousandths of a second. As now the number 51 does powerhouse on that outside with that outside lane. He's going to take the lead back. Is he going to wait for this 19 to clear the 25?
No, he does not. He comes down in front of the 25 and leaves the 19 up on the high line once again.
So far here tonight, we've seen a lot of the drivers from that high line, as soon as they get the lead, they go to the low line, but it just seems to be a continuous thing as the drivers on the high line start to overtake that lead, and they'll drop down to the inside, and then the next driver on that high line seems to get the lead. As that number 19 is now starting to get just a little overrun on that high line. He's going to lose it going into turn 1 and 2 here. Maybe going to get that momentum out of turn number 2 here to get a run, but doesn't have enough cars on the bumper to just get him.
I don't think he has the push he needs to overtake there on that high line. Looks like the number 29 and the 12 car are kind of hanging back here and letting things shake out.
As we throw the top 5 here on the board, we're going to move it down to the rear of the field just a little more, as it's starting to get a little single file here. As the number 4 of Nick Tarabush seems to be leading that little gap between him and the number 62 of Carson Bytool. Jeez, these guys have some difficult names to say. As most... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, as we saw that top line pretty much completely go away there for about a half a lap, now we see the 19 coming back with some help from that 12 car, trying to push his way back to the front.
As most of the side-by-side battles right now is just towards the up front here for the lead. Otherwise than that, it's single file. As I do hit lap 15 of 100 here, it's going to be a long race here tonight, folks. I think we're going to see we're not going to see a lot of action so far in the beginning of this race, but stay tuned towards the end of this race as we hit about lap 70, because 70 out of 100, these drivers are going to start getting more intense here. May see a few cautions. I have a strong feeling we're going to have very low cautions here tonight with this field. I've got to scope them out a little bit, Dustin, and honestly, they are really good, clean drivers, especially after last week's duels. Duel 1 had only 2 cautions. Duel number 2 had no cautions. So I believe putting all these guys together, I believe this is going to be a very low caution count race.
Well, and they broke themselves up here into 2 separate groups here in this race, almost, 2 separate races and 2 separate packs, as we see the leaders continue to jump lines up there up front.
As my mic was muted there, as the number 25 is going to get a run on that inside, but that 51 is going to get the momentum out of the turn. I think he's going to be able to lead this lap. As, it's going to be a close one here to the start-finish line. The 51 by a splitter. As they do come out of turn number 2 here. It's about a 3-car battle here. 6-car, honestly, for the lead, but it's really just between the number 25 and 51 right now. One of those 2 are the strongest cars in the field as of right now. But I'm going to tell you this, Justin. I have that number 43, that iconic 43 STP car, sitting back there in P7. I feel like he has a strong shot of winning it tonight.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a performance here from the 51 and 25 up there, giving us a good show, going from the top to the bottom, and really using that top line and that top push out of the corners to their advantage.
As lap number 18 of 100 here, coming out of turn 2, that high line starting to just disintegrate just a little bit, only down to 2 cars, as the 51 did jump to the inside there. I'm thinking that number 19, if there's a gap between that 29 and 43, I think he's going to take it, because right now there's nobody on that high line except way far back, and it's just 2 cars. 2 cars, and then a big gap, and then 2 more cars, and then another big gap, and then 2 more cars. That's just not enough, and especially if you're side drafting, it's going to take a while for those 2 cars behind you to get up to your bumper.
On that gap you were just talking about, closed up very, very quickly there. And it looks like the 43 is just kind of sitting back and waiting for his moment to move here.
He's just playing there sitting like a sitting duck right now, leaving a gap between him and the 29. That could give an advantage to the 19. Maybe he's trying to help the 19 as they go into turn 3 here. That 19 doesn't seem to want to take that opportunity right now.
Very interesting that the 42 and the 19 have actually, kept their own there on the high line, even though it's only 2 cars up there.
And in total on that outside lane, there's only 4 cars as they hit lap 20 here. Otherwise than that, it's single file on that inside lane, and I think that's how we're going to see it for most of this race so far. As Dustin could try and give us an inside view of here of what the pit window might be and how many laps they could get on fuel.
Well, I would see them going about 40 laps here on a tank of gas, and that would be the strategy whether we see these racers take their 4 tires or go for the 2-tire pit stop here.
I think under green flag conditions, which we might see a lot of green flag pit stops here tonight, hopefully if this race plays out caution-free, I think we're going to see a lot of guys just take gas and go because they're trying to get back out on track as quick as possible. They don't need the tires. Tires don't wear a lot here at Daytona. At these super speedways, at like Talladega and Daytona, these tires don't wear like they would at like Atlanta or Charlotte. So I think these guys are going to take a lot of gas and goes here. Maybe one time we will see a tire pit stop, but that's only going to be under caution.
And as we come up on lap traffic here, we're going to go 3 wide here for a second for 4th.
As that 83 does the respectful thing and stays high for these cars, as there's only 1 car on that outside lane.
Now, as we look back through the field now, there is a single car there on the top line, and he is out there by himself.
As you say that, and it's actually the number 12. Way back, we just saw him not too long ago up in that way front pack of that field. Maybe he started playing a little strategy and realizing it may have been getting a little too dicey up there for him, so he moved to the rear of the field to just play a little strategy and stay safe.
Yeah, I definitely saw him filter back there to the back of the pack, and it's actually all the way in the back now.
See if we can hit the midfield here as they do start trying to form another outside lane here. As more cars are starting to jump up to that outside line. Ooh. That number 1 of Brad Patton seemed to maybe get a little loose going into the tri-oval on the front stretch, jumped up to the outside, lost his position out there in that inside lane. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not the number 1. It was a single car. I just can't. Maybe the number 18. It was hard to see.
The number 1 seems like he had some network issues there on the front stretch.
They do seem to resolve here as a commonly known fact to give y'all, blinking in iRacing as we do see right now.
And now we see that number 43, which you were talking about, Zach, make his way to the front here.
As blinking in iRacing, like I was saying, as a fun fact here, is when the client and the server, meaning the client, the racer, has a bad connection to the server, which is iRacing, and that does cause a blinking effect, and your car does hop up and down a little bit, and it's not a commonly known thing that you want here at Daytona, because when that happens, it kills the draft, and when somebody blinks, you don't want to kill the draft, because the draft is that one big thing you need to help you win this race.
And another thing, Zach, is you never know where they are going to blink back on the screen. So if you are up on their tailgate and they blink back, you could be beside them.
You could be beside them, you could be inside of them, because when they do blink, they do go, as we call, ghost mode, and they blink inside of your car. Since this is a simulation game, they blink inside of your car. That could cause a big wreck right there, because you could spin them and that's a no-no. So you want to make sure your internet is pitch perfect for these super speedway races.
Yeah, so we see the 51 car almost jump up there to that top line to try and steal that away, and got a little block there by the 42.
As I still think, honestly, my personal opinion, and from a driver's stand view, that it is just a little too early to start blocking here. I understand the point system where the most laps led does get the bonus point, but currently right now we're on lap 26 of 100. There is still plenty of racing to go. I think it's just too early to start blocking.
Yeah, and we finally see the 51 does make that move up to the top and actually brings the 24 down to the bottom with him.
Will actually be the number 42.
Or the 42, there. I apologize.
All right, as the 42 has been up in the top 5 most of this race so far. But now that number 43 is by himself there on that outside lane with 2 other cars to help him. May try and get a run. That 42 might try to hop up on that outside lane to pass the 51, but 51 may follow up. As we see the number 43 starting to get a run on that outside lane, they're going to move high. Is he going to go bumper to bumper with him? He will. As, ooh, they're going to move low now, actually. Wow.
We see them take a very unusual line there to go up there and catch the draft of the top line and then come back down in front of the 25 there.
As they do come around to complete lap number 27 going into 28 here. So far still out front, the number 51 of Caleb Eisenhower. We're going to go through your top 5 real quick here. Will be the number 51 of Caleb Eisenhower in second. The number 42 of Tom Wetmore. Third will be the number 43. Oh, it's going to switch to the 25 of Joseph Tice. Then the number 43 of William Dunn. And then Brandon Kirkman rounding out your top 5 so far. But that does change about every second on this track.
Yes, it does. And as we see, the 42 now is on the top line trying to get that push out, going out of the corner here. And the 51 stays there on the bottom line.
As that 43 does have to be a little cautious there when he does get his bumper up to that rear end bumper of the 42. You want your bumper to be perfectly aligned center to center, because if that bumper of the 43 hits that left rear bumper of the 42, it's going to send him around.
Yes, it's definitely a very tricky thing to do. And as we see for some of the people in the Peak Series where they can be pushing through the corners, you know, you might not see that in a race like this.
You might not see that even in a real race sometimes, because pushing through the corners isn't the best ideal thing to do. Is that does cause the cars not to like it, and they do spin out a lot. As we're going to see the 42 wash up track a little bit. The 43 tries to check up, gets bumped by the number 5, and they're going to be 3 wide coming out of turn 4.
The 42 is going to fall right back in line there on the high line and doesn't lose that many spots.
As
but
did get a little luck
could have
on
been
the
a
side
huge accident there.
There could have been, but the number 42 does have a little luck on his side right there, but they're going to lose a lot of momentum on that high line. As now that 51 left a big gap between him and the 25. The 25 looked into the middle of the turn, maybe to go to the outside to try and get a run on the 51, but came right back down to that bottom lane. As they do come around for lap number 31 of 100 here, Non-Stop Racing TV will bring you into a Rank It Up view presented by yours truly, Non-Stop Racing TV. As that was Crank It Up presented to you by NonStopRacingTV. We did see the 51 get shuttered a little bit here as we are 3 wide. Coming down the front stretch to complete lap 32.
And we're 3 wide here, 3 cars deep.
As that 51 got shuttered a little bit out of the lead there, that 43 now William Dunn in the lead.
We finally see the 48 there jump back in line there in the middle line from the top line.
As that 43 is my pick to win this race here tonight. Looks like he has a strong car here. Be able to take home that checkered flag. As now that number 5 getting a run on that outside lane. The number 5 of Brandon Kirkman. Does he lead that lap? No, does not. We do head over into our little Non-Stop Racing TV live chat here. Good evening, Nancy Wetmore. Nice to see you here today. She is rooting for Tommy here tonight. As now that 43 does make it to that low lane, he will try to come and complete and lead this lap for a bonus point, but that 51 has a say about it. Just can't get to the bumper in time.
And the 51 gets a huge push there on the outside line.
As side by side down the backstretch here into turn number 3 and 4 on lap 35 of 100. Take a look at our weather here tonight at Daytona with a beautiful 83 degrees air temp, making that track a little warm here of 108.6 degrees. Low humidity of 55 and just partly cloudy here. Low known fun fact about this track, it is 31 degrees banking in these turns, and we'll bring you an onboard view here in just a second. The track is 2.479 miles long with an altitude of just 36 feet above that sea level here in Daytona Beach, Florida. As I did promise, we will bring you onto an onboard view here before these drivers hit the turn. On our gyro cam, you're going to get to see these degrees of banking these drivers have to deal with. As our car went from being completely flat on the ground now to this gyro cam turned. A lot of degrees of banking there as these drivers have to deal with that. Not just transition from flat to that, but they got to deal with a lot of bumps on this track here tonight too, Dustin.
Yeah, which could be very, very hard to control your car, even if we see these guys not take tires here towards the end of the race, where this car tends to get a little loose on that banking.
As we do have our helmet cam here presented by the number 43 of William Dunn. Very thankful for him and a few other drivers here tonight giving us these awesome views.
Yeah, very interesting to see here, Zach, as we pull up some fast laps. The past, 2 to 3 laps here, we've had 45.8 has been the fastest lap, and that's actually back in 10th and 11th place.
And one big thing here known for these drivers is that you can't see anything on your right side. These drivers cannot turn their heads at all to look on their right side to see if there's a car there. They're relying all on their spotter. Their spotter is non-stop telling them where a car is on their outside, if there's a car on their outside, and a car behind them. Because yes, they can glance up and look at those mirrors, but they should be focusing and driving ahead because they're on a bumper or some other car. Their spotter has to keep them informed on that car behind them and where they are at.
And that is why you also get the effects of the big one as well, because these drivers can't see past the bumper in front of them.
As they cannot on the straightaways going into the turn, as we're going to see a couple cars dive it down pit road here. I'm going to try and see who that is. Just hitting currently right now. Maybe I can get a good view of it. Nope, not going to be them. What drivers just pitted?
Oh, I'm trying to get there here.
As I think I see the 23. Would that be a number that is on pit road? No, he is actually out on track still. As we're going to see a little early strategy of these drivers, but you know what? That's not early strategy. We're hitting lap 39 of 40 here. These drivers are starting to run low on fuel.
I was just going to say that there, Zach. We are almost coming up on lap 40, and we're going to see a lot of these drivers have to duck down here on pit road.
As mainly the front cars, like the number 5 out in front here, he is burning the most gas. He's being pushed to top speeds here. As we'll do our driver drop here to see what he's going to hit down this backstretch. Really up in the 195 range, still getting pushed. 196, 198 going into turn number 3 here. He's burning the most gas. As that number 43 behind him is actually saving a little fuel. I think behind him it's going to help him gain a little advantage, maybe stay out an extra lap.
And as we come around here, it does look like we have some cars that go down pit road here.
As we do have multiple cars actually come down pit road here. Did not get to that commitment cone camera in time. But I'm waiting for this leader to go in, because when this leader goes in, everybody behind him will follow.
Yeah, and as we are on lap 41, I would assume that most of these cars cannot make another lap.
No, they can't, but you never know. I think no more than lap 45 will we see this number 5 be out on track. And if he's out past lap 45, then he is doing some insane saving. As wow, we see a lot of cars start to dive it down pit road. We're going to bring you to our commitment cone here. These drivers look to make it down pit road in time for the speed limit.
Very impressive driving there by the drivers. No one locked up the brakes there, got into anyone coming into pit road. As we see the 82 there get sideways on pit road.
As my main focus right now is at number 51. We're going to get our pit exit cam here. There goes one car down pit road. As we see a little blinking out of that number 12 actually. We'll have our pit commitment cone here. That number 51 is my ordeal right now, as he will bring it out of pit road, and we're going to see a lot of these drivers start to pit now. Leave the pit road. But when will that leader? The leader does start to come down pit road now. So does the number 43, and everybody behind him will follow. About 42 laps these guys can make it, as we are on lap 42 of 100. That should actually cycle lead to go to the 51 possibly. I don't know if he is the lead car. No, it's actually might be the number 11.
I see the number 12 leading the pack out here, but I'm pretty sure that that is the second pack.
As I'm trying to actually figure out myself who it's going to be let out to.
And as they come around to the start finish, we should see a refresh here in the standings.
Number 5 and 43 get out of pit road, but have to gain up that speed, and that number 51 and 11 are bumper to bumper right now. Coming into turn 1 and 2, they have a little help. They're going a lot faster than the number 5 and 43, but you see the 43 right on the bumper of the 5. It's helping them gain a little more speed coming out of pit road. This is going to be a close one here to see who takes the lead. These pit stops did shake up the field now, and it actually split this field up big time, but you're going to see that big pack that pitted a lap before them. They're catching them.
Yes, they are. And we will see, you know, your little 2-car and 3-car packs really make their ground up here to catch these bigger packs.
As that 5 and 43 are just bumper to bumper themselves, they better hope that this bigger pack doesn't have a big run of momentum, because right now it looks like they're going to have a huge run of momentum. And no, they're actually going to go high. The number 11 and 51 are going to go high. I think that is a bad choice right there, Dustin.
Yeah, the 11 and 53 definitely go high there. Or the 51, I apologize, but looks like they're going to stay even going through the corner here.
The reason why I think that's a big mistake is because they should have gotten under the bumper of the 43, and that would have helped him actually get up to the speeds that this big pack behind him is at. That would have helped him keep the lead, but looks like that number 51 is going to dive down low just in time.
Yeah, I think that was a very, very good move there by the 51, and that 11 we see is just too slow to keep up now.
As we did see a big single car file field here of all 40 plus cars. Now we just see the lead pack here of about, I would say about no more than 15 cars.
Yeah, I think we actually currently have 16 cars on the lead lap.
As that number 5 does come out of turn number 4 here, he's going to try and lead this lap, but the 51 is going to have a say in it. 5 will get that lap though.
And as we see a lap car go back there through the front of the pack, actually gets up and touches the wall there in the corner.
As they do stay high, that is the most respectful thing for these lap cars to do, is if that big lead pack is coming fast on them, it's just a respectful thing to stay as high as you can. The 51 right now is powerhousing on that outside.
Yes, it is, and being that lead or that lap car, it can be very difficult to hold it up there, especially if on old tires or significantly slower.
As now that 11 is helping that 51, going into turn number 1 here, are they going to slide down to that inside? We'll have to see.
Definitely have a lot of momentum coming out of the corner here, and that top line seems to be the line to be in right now.
As we did see early on that high line wasn't the ideal lane to be in, but it seems to be forming a lot more, and that low lane just doesn't seem to have enough momentum to stay with that high lane, even in the turn.
Yeah, and we actually see the top line pulling away and people staying in the top line, which speaks volumes to how they feel up there right now.
So far here tonight, we've completed 47 of 100 laps with just 12 different lead changes.
Yes, and if we do stay green, we're going to see some very interesting pit strategy here at the end. Seeing that they did get 41 laps in, which would get them to lap 82, which would give them a little fuel stint there at the end if we stayed green the whole time.
But will they pit a little earlier, because they did make it to lap 42, yes. But that means they could pit about lap 65 and they'll make it to the end if there is no caution.
It'll be very interesting to see the strategy of all the teams out there and what they decide to do, because of course it being Daytona, you cannot pit alone.
Definitely not. So when you see cars, or you hear cars over the radio say they are pitting this time by, that's where you decide, do I pit with them or do I keep going?
As we see the 11 car actually drop down to the bottom line there in front of the 5. And there's a little 3 car pack there at the bottom that's pulling away from all the rest of the cars on the bottom line.
That is actually going to be our 13th lead change here tonight, as 11 leads his first lap of the night.
We actually see the 18 car of Cody Smith work his way up into the top 5, and that's the first time we've seen him up in the top 5 tonight.
It is so far. He's been more towards the back in the top, about top 15, top 20, in mid-pack, but 50 laps to go here. We're starting to see a lot of drivers start to move up to this front of the pack because they need to be closer to the front here if they want a chance to win it with pit strategy.
Yes, they do, and we're actually going to come up on a 2-car pack here of lead or lap cars, and we'll see what they do here.
As with these cars stay lower, they're going to go high and do the respectful thing. We'll have to see here.
We actually see a gap there where the 51 car could possibly drop down and is choosing to stay up on that top line.
As these lap cars are seeming to stay on that low line, it's going to affect the leaders actually. Because they're going to have to go high to avoid them.
Yeah, it does push them high to avoid them, and it actually breaks up the top 4 here and puts some distance in between them.
As they do come around here to come to 48 laps to go. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of these drivers start to pit here, maybe with 8 laps to, or I'm sorry, not 8 laps to go, about 8 to 10 laps here.
Yeah, I would definitely think that could definitely happen. You're going to see some teams get on the microphones here and start talking about some strategy.
As they do head into, that number 44 lap car just kind of came out of nowhere and scared me. Uh-oh, whoa! Oh,
and there we go.
As caution will come out, we do see a car flipping here. It is the 51.
And I think that caution can be tracked right back to that lap car of the 63. Actually came up and got into the 43 there in the middle of the corner.
See if I can get a replay there for you. Trying to find the car numbers here. Having a little difficult time.
Yeah, the 63 of Jim Fife.
No, yeah, actually he will slide him into the 43, which pushes the 43 into the 44, and the 51 has nowhere to go and has to check up. But that's going to cause the car behind him to slam into his bumper, and that's just going to send the 51 around.
Very unfortunate for the 51, has had a strong car tonight and has been in the lead for a majority of this race.
As now I believe we're going to see a lot of cars come down pit road here, and they will take some tires, I believe, since we are under caution.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of cars pit here, but they are still not going to have enough to get to the end here.
Not unless they conserve a lot here under caution, but I still don't think that'll help.
It will be very, very interesting to see.
We may see drivers pit more than once under this caution. As Non-Stop Racing TV brings you the All-In Restoration 250 at Daytona. All-In Restoration is a growing business started in 2017, owned and operated by James Hudson. All-In Restoration covers anything from basic auto repairs to full-on auto repairs. If you have a car that needs any basic kind of restoration, give James Hudson a call at All-In Restoration.
And this caution will actually allow all the cars to get piled back up here in one pack, and we'll see how many cars we actually have on the lead lap here.
As we do come to 45 laps to go this time, here under caution. This will be the first caution of the night here. As the number 63 and 44, they are, I believe they are lapped down, but do get their laps back for being out front of the leaders right now.
Yes. I don't know how I'm going to get up there tomorrow after 5 days of being off.
Yeah. As we do see up here in our live chat, show the flip again. Pretty vicious flip there, though. I don't know if that was, I think that was a little graphic for us to re-show there. As caught the glimpse of it on live here. It's going to be a little tough to try and go and get it back, as this pace car may bring him around for one to go here this time.
Now, as we actually see the 67 car of Don Stephenson is now our race leader, but has to come down pit road.
As maybe he did get some tires and the crew did not get all the lug nuts on he needed. And if they don't do that, it will cause a vibration in the car, and that's just going to have to make them pit while they're under green. They don't want that.
And we also could be seeing some strategy there by the 67 as we come around to lap 58. You know, maybe he believes that he can get that 43 laps out of that tank of gas.
As if he can, it'll be pushing it just a little bit, as I do believe the lights on the pace car are off. And the 43, is he choosing that high lane? He must be choosing that high lane here on the start. As here with 44 laps to go, these drivers double file up here ready for the restart. I think these drivers may need to pit one more time if they haven't conserved enough here under caution.
Yeah, it will be very, very interesting to see if we see some cars drop back here and really tuck in and conserve some fuel.
As pace car does dive down, green flag is out, pedal to the metal, they are off. Heading into turn number 1 and 2 here. The number 43 with the advantage on that high line. Maybe a smart move to take that high line on the start. As we see the 43 duck low to that inside lane. Onto the front stretch here, he will lead him to 42 laps to go here. Has led currently so far here tonight 7 laps, with about 14 lead changes total here.
Yeah, and we see some new faces here, and in the top 5 of number 9, Joe's Slama in the top 5, and number 50, Joshua Campo, makes his way up into the top 5.
As we do see a couple new faces up here, maybe are going to start changing their strategy, but there's 42 laps to go, and I don't see these front guys letting off this gas.
No, I don't either, and it'll be very interesting to see how many of these guys do let off and drop back a little bit. But the question is, really, can it be done?
As they do come into turn number 2 here, onto the backstretch, probably the longest part of the track here, which I feel like on the final lap, when there's a final lap pass, it's going to happen on that backstretch.
Yeah, those drivers definitely can get those push coming out of 2 and take advantage there on the backstretch with a good push.
And on the front stretch in turn number 3 and 4, but that banking in that trial does give the Highline a little disadvantage there, so caution will fly for the second time here tonight.
Yes, it will. Caution must have been towards the very back of the field there.
As we are trying to find it for you right now here. As I'm not being able to find it here, maybe. It looks to me maybe just a debris caution.
Yeah, I don't actually see where that caution occurred.
I don't either, and I'm going to take it as it was thrown as a debris caution here. Maybe somebody's fender did fall off, as I saw. I believe it was the number 24. He had a little front end damage there. Yeah, he's dented up real good in that front end.
Now we will see who actually does come down pit road here and who takes the gamble and stays out.
I believe we're going to see everybody come down pit road here, as they can top it off with fuel and guarantee that they will make it to the end.
And as we come around turn 4, we will see.
Pit road maybe not open so far right now. Maybe next time by they will open pit road. No, pit road is open, as I do see cars come down pit road, so obviously most of this field choosing not to go down pit road to guarantee that they'll make it to the end.
Yeah, and with 37 laps here and, you know, running 2 or 3 of these laps here under caution, maybe some of these guys think that they do have the gas to finish the race here.
As we will have to see, as right now under caution, not much I can really say. These laps are starting to wind down here. We're going to start seeing a lot more aggression out of these drivers, as 38 laps to go here under caution.
And as I notice, I jump in the 43 cockpit here, and he's actually cutting his engine going down the backstretch here, trying to conserve some gas.
As we do see a little crinkle there on that left side nose of his hood, and may affect his aerodynamics and his downforce, but right now he's in that lead, so it doesn't seem like it's affecting him any at all.
No, it doesn't, and he was running pretty well out there and holding his own. And as they come around here to the pit entrance, it looks like they will be staying out.
They will, so maybe they can make it just a couple more laps than we thought from their first time on their green flag run.
Yeah, we definitely see a lot of the drivers back through the field here cutting their engines and trying to conserve their fuel. As you see, they're very, very spread out here on this pacing lap.
As they are spread out, most likely all these drivers are cutting their engines, trying to save some fuel. As they do come down the front stretch here, I believe this time will be one till green. As the lights on the pace car do turn off, representing green this time. As ooh.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say exactly what you were going to say.
About that 48 missing a front hood.
Yes, I did see that as he rushed off pit road there.
As maybe that was the cause of the caution there. You see the 43 you choosing that outside lane once again.
I believe the 48's damage was actually from the prior caution with the 51.
Oh, that could be true. They do come through turn 3 and 4 here, side by side, double filed up, getting ready for the green. This car will dive down in, and green flag is out. Pedal to the metal, they are green.
And the 43 gets a huge run there on the outside there on that start.
As, oh, we're going to see a driver go low there on the apron. It was the 88. Will that bring out another caution here? Not looking to bring out another caution as they stay green. It was just a single car spin, it seemed to be.
We see the 43 car William Dunn taking over here, even with that damage on the front left fender.
That number 09 on that outside, getting some help. Oh, that 17 is going to duck to the inside lane, and he's going to take that help away.
Yes, he is, and I think we're going to see this bottom line take off here and leave that 09 to fall all the way back to the 28.
As they do come down the backstretch here with 34 laps to go, we're seeing a little more aggression out of these drivers now.
We're definitely going to see these guys make their moves here in the next coming laps to set themselves up for a chance here at the end of this race.
Ooh, we're going to see a little swirl on the back of the pack here. Ooh, the number 53 of James Hudson has to move high there from the number 73 so that they don't collide.
And still out front, we have the 43 of William Dunn. And in second, we have Brandon Kirkman. And in third, we see another new face, the 17 car, Neil Froerich.
In fourth, we have the number 4 of Nick Tarabush. And in fifth, we got Joe Slam. Running out your top 5 there. A couple new faces back up in here in the top 5.
Yeah, and we see this bottom line really starting to form, and these top 3 have kind of pulled away here, and we see the 41 kind of giving them some space up front. For the number 4, I apologize.
As that high lane there is starting to dwindle a little bit. Only about 3 cars outside right now. That low lane just seeming to be the dominant lane.
And we see that high line continue just to get pushed back to the back of the pack and is left to 1 car there on the top, that 09.
As we see a badly damaged number 18 there stay high. As now we see the number 50 and the number 29 trying to make a move there on the outside lane to try and get it formed again.
Yeah, and they definitely have a lot of help there on the outside lane, and they're going to make a push here to the front.
With 30 laps to go here, a lot of aggression coming out of these drivers, feeling like they do have enough fuel to make it to the end. I think 10 laps to go here is where we're going to have to start watching to see if anybody runs out of fuel.
Yes, we will. And I think that is going to be the key, because they do not want to be out front the whole time, because that is going to burn more fuel than they want to. So it'll be very interesting what the 43 does here. Also, we're now dealing with a lot more lap traffic on the track. These slower cars that have to stay up there on the wall.
That is true. I have started to notice that because there are a lot of cars out here right now with damage.
And it seems like they really have that top line form there in the back of the pack. They're just trying to make their way up to the front to meet the 50 and the 29. The number 24 really starting to close that gap up top. Yep.
with 28 laps to go here. These drivers are coming around through turn number 4 here to complete lap. I've lost count on what lap number 72, coming into 73. With only 2 cautions here tonight of 8 laps, 14 lead changes still.
Yeah, and we see this 50 car really getting a run here on the outside, but then almost seems like he's backing off and going back to about 4th or 3rd, getting around the corners here.
Six laps to go. They head into turn number 1 here. The number 43 of William Dunn still leading this race.
And as we see that top line is finally formed up here, and we have the cars front to back, and we'll see what they can do up front, or up top there.
As it's looking to be about a 7 to 8 car pack up there. They're going to start getting some momentum. As we see that number 50 of Joshua Campbell starting to powerhouse. Ooh, we're going to see a car. That was a lap car. Very close to hitting that wall. May have gotten the wall just a little bit.
Yeah, it just seems to be whenever the 50 and the 29 car get a run up there, the 24 car just cannot get up on the bumper of the 29 and give him the momentum he needs.
As they do come onto the front stretch here for 24 laps to go. Coming down here onto the front stretch with 23 laps to go. We will bring you into one more time here. Crank It Up, presented to you by Non-Stop Racing TV.
As we see that 5 car actually jumped up to the top lane in front of the 50, got a little push up there to the lead. And we will have a new race leader that lap, being Brandon Kirkman of the number 5.
They do have 22 laps to go here. We're starting to see a little more aggression out of these drivers. Don't know if we'll see another caution or not. I hope we get to go to the end here green and see a good finish.
It will very depend on how patient these drivers really want to be here in the last couple laps.
As there is 21 laps to go here, these laps are starting to wind down.
It'll be very interesting to see with the gas as well. These drivers now coming around to 27 laps on this tank of fuel.
As they do come out of turn number 4 here, yeah, fuel strategy is going to come into play here. I feel like if we do see anybody run out of fuel, it's going to be this lead lap car, not the lead lap, I'm sorry, this leader car out up in front, because they do burn the most gas. As they do hit about 198 going into turn 1 there.
Yeah, I do believe the 43 was actually playing some strategy there, allowing the 5 car to jump out in front, maybe to conserve some fuel himself.
As the 5 did say he will take the lead. Maybe the 5 has conserved enough fuel now to where he can make it to the end out front. They do come down the backstretch here. The number 5 still in the lead here with 19 laps to go. I haven't seen any moves yet to try and get him out of the way by the 43. Maybe he's saving that move for about 5 laps to go.
Yeah, as we tick down here with under 20 laps to go, we also see this top line still holding back here in the 3rd and 4th position, just kind of waiting for their time to move.
Now we definitely see that high line starting to form a lot more here. Just needs to get a little closer to the bumpers and it'll be a fight for the lead.
Ooh, as we see some of the cars there on the bottom line jump to the high line there. And then the number 24 car actually gets into the number 90 there in the middle of the corner.
As that 48 staying high for the leaders here, coming onto the front stretch. Uh-oh. Oh. Will that bring out a caution here tonight? I thought I seen a car wreck and maybe not. I have just been seeing a couple things.
And that lap car actually shook things up there a little bit and caused a lot of those people that were up on that high line to come down to the bottom just to ensure that they got by.
As from myself personally, Non-StopRacingTV, if there is any interruptions here tonight with this broadcast, I do apologize. We will try and figure it out. As they come into turn number 2 here with 16 laps to go. The number 5 still leading this race. I'm going to go through and see who's led the most laps here tonight. It's actually going to be between the number 51 who's led... The number 51 led 28 laps here tonight, but unfortunately out of this race due to damage. That number 43 very close behind, leading 26, only 2 laps. If he can get out front for 2 more laps, he's going to get that extra bonus point for leading the most laps here tonight. But that number 5 wants that bonus point as well, as he has 19 laps led here tonight.
Yeah, and we definitely see the top 3 there kind of pulling away from position 4 and 5 here, coming down the backstretch. Ooh, and we're gonna have a caution there at the back of the pack.
That looks like that will cause the big one here tonight.
They'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
As let's see if we can get an instant replay on what did happen. Maybe a little more up in the pack here.
I believe it was the 95 car there that caused that caution originally.
As, oh, we do see a car slide up into the wall, or into the car. 95, you say?
I believe it was the one car there on the bottom line was trying to come up there to the top and cut off the nose of the 95 M&M's car there.
As we'll bring you one more little view here to see if that is correct. Watching that number 1 car here on that inside lane, coming into turn number 2. Looks like he's going... Yep, the 95 starts to get a run on that outside. The 1 looks like he washes up the track maybe a little bit, or did try to come up and block him. That's just going to spin the 95 around. Somehow that number 1 stays straight. That number 95 is going to go flying here tonight.
Yes, definitely the one car definitely thought he was clear there or meant to throw a block and caught the front of the 95 car. And that will collect quite a few cars there with 15 laps to go.
We'll get from the number 95's perspective here. And we'll send him around, and oh, he's going to go on his lid. As he does seem to disconnect from his car, though.
Yeah, if my count is correct, we have 5 or 6 cars that caught up in that caution there.
5 or 6? It's 5 or 6 that shouldn't have been caught up there, as we have 13 laps to go here under caution. It's going to be about, I'm going to say about 10 laps to go with the restart.
Yes, and we will see some very aggressive driving, I would have to guess, here in the late stages of this race.
As we will bring it to you one more time here tonight. This is Non-Stop Racing TV presenting you the Integrity Racing League All-In 250 at Daytona here. All-In Restoration is a growing business started in 2017, owned and operated by James Hudson, the driver. All-In Restoration covers anything from basic auto repairs to full-on restorations. If you do have a car that does need any auto repair or restoration, give James Hudson a call at All-In Restoration.
Yeah, and it still seems to look like these drivers are cutting their engines and trying to save as much fuel as they can here in the end of this run.
As we do have the stream up, we are sorry for that little disconnection of thing right there. Seems to be just some internet troubles here tonight. We will try and figure them out. Laps left here to go. I still think about 9 or 10 laps on the restart. 9 or 10 laps to go here on the restart. Definitely going to start seeing some drivers push it like crazy. I still think that 43 is going to try to make an insane move to pass that number 5.
It'll be very interesting to see what we see here in the last 10 laps or so. Just to give a rundown here, the top 5, we have in the top position, we have Brandon Kirkman, number 5. We have the 43 of William Dunn in second. We have the 17 of Neil Froerich in number third. We have the number 4 car of Nick Tierbush in 4th, and the number 50 car of Josh Campbell in 5th.
That does round out your top 5 so far here tonight under caution. Currently so far we have had 3 cautions, 11 laps and counting. Just 15 lead changes here tonight, 88 laps complete, coming to 89. Out of 100.
Yes, and it looks like we are going to get 1 to go here with 10 laps to go.
we will bring you our RPM meter down at that bottom left corner here for the restart of the number 5 of Brandon Kirkman. Actually, we're going to do the number 43 here, see if he tries to do a little sneaky move to get by this number 5, as the 5 chooses that high lane. That may come back to bite him in the butt, but we never know. That high lane seems to have been a great choice so far here tonight with that 43, because that number 5 gets to go whenever he wants. If that 43 crosses that finish line before the number 5, he will get a penalty that does have to make that number 43 wait just a little bit and play out just right to get by that number 5 right after the start finish line. As they do come around here to turn number 4 here, this pace car ready to dive off. Coming to 11 laps to go here on this restart. Out of turn number 4 they go. 10 laps to go here on the restart. Pace car dives it down pit road. Green flag will wave. Pedal to the metal. There they go. They are off. As that number 5 will beat that number 43. The 43 will slide right down behind him. As they do hit 9,000 RPMs, the 43 getting ready to shift into 4th gear here. 4th gear now. Gaining those RPMs up here, as they do have a pretty big gap between them and that number 17 car behind them there. We do see a couple cars here blinking on track, not a lot, but there's quite a few. Non-Stop Racing TV has no clue what is going on here right now.
Definitely seems to be some very bad server issues here on iRacing's part. But the drivers...
Not just on my side, I guess, as that did relieve some pain off of me, thinking that was just on my side. But no, if you see it too, then that means that it does have to do with the server.
Seems like it's all panned out here, and we actually see the 9 and the 17 looking to take a high line here.
As that 9 gets up to the high line, the 43 can't come up and block, but that 5 still has a chance.
But the question is here, how long does that 43 wait before he makes his move?
He can't wait too long as the laps are winding down here, coming to 8 laps to go, folks.
And as we look at that high line, it really looks like they're struggling to gain the momentum up top there.
Down the backstretch they go into turn number 3 and 4 here. The number 5 still out front. And number 43 and 29 right now.
Yeah, the 24 car there actually went down, caught the apron, and actually had to slow up, which slowed that whole bottom line up.
See that number 43 maybe try to make his move. Can't do it. The 5 will block. The 43 goes low. 5 gets a little loose. This is the 43's chance right here. 3 wide into turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, the 43 definitely got the 5 loose there, sending him up to the top of the track.
As now that 29 looks to have a battle here for the lead with the 43. That 5 is going to lose his position. He's going to lose a lot of positions here right now. He got shoved to that outer lane from that 3 wide position. That 24 needs to get that 43's bumper quick, or that 29 will take over this lead. Can't come down yet because that 24 gets to the 43's bumper. Coming out of turn 4. 6 laps to go this time. Side by side. Right now, though, that 43 looking to claim this lap here, as it's going to be a close one, but he will claim that lap there and lead it. And folks, I do believe that if he does lead this next lap coming around, he will clinch the most laps levied here tonight.
And the top line is all over the place up there. You really need to gather it up and make a push here for the lead.
As it could clinch that number 43, the most laps led here tonight, but he doesn't care about leading the most laps led here tonight, most likely. He cares about just leading that one and only lap. White flag, final lap. That's the only lap you should ever care about leading. 5 laps to go. Coming to the line this time. It's going to be a close finish here, folks. That high line getting a little momentum now. It's starting to regain its strength.
We finally see the high line come in a little bit here with the 29 getting a push here to third. But will the 17 be able to get up on the 29's bumper and push him any farther here?
That 43 can't give a big gap between him and that number 24, because if he does it, 24 can make a move to try and win this race. And I'm surprised that that number 24 is up here in that top 5 right now with that heavy front end damage. As uh-oh, we're going to see a big wreck here. Caution will fly. But is that going to be the end of the race, or are we going to see a one-lap shootout here? I'm not sure. We're going to go into the back of the pack a little bit.
It will all depend on how fast they can get gathered up here.
As we're going to try and catch a glimpse here of what may have happened. Didn't get to see it, but I think that number 23 may have had something to do with this caution here tonight. As, ooh, that number 92 actually is going to get put into that wall, or something on that car must have broke. As that number 92 just went straight into that wall in turn 3. After that, he had no control of what was going to happen. That just caused it. As of right now, that number...
Yeah, very weird behavior there by the 92. Just shooting up into the wall.
Right now, though, that number 43, hoping this race does end under caution. May not be the best way to end the race under caution, but he's in that lead right now, and he just wants this race to end under caution because he doesn't want to have to fight. But it's going to be a close call here, folks. I'm not sure if we're going to have one lap to go or not. I feel like this race may have ended right there under this caution.
Very interesting too, Zach, where the 92 jumped up into the wall. The 28 actually got in the back of the 87, which got him loose, and it was part of that accident as well. It just happened to happen at the exact same time.
If the lights on the pace car are on this next time round here with 2 to go, that will end this race here tonight, folks. As I don't know if I'm just seeing this here, but that pace car, he's blinking for me. And that's a rare sight to see the pace car blinking. As here's the deciding factor, folks. This pace car coming down the front stretch. Do the lights stay on, or will they turn off? Lights on the pace.
I think that'll do it.
Lights on the pace car do stay on, and that is going to be official. The race has ended. No 2 laps to go here, as something did just fall. 2 laps to go here. There is no possible way they can restart this race.
And I guarantee you that William Dunn is a very happy man inside of that cockpit of the number 43 car right now.
As we will try to gather together our top 3 here for the interviews of the night, while these guys do finish their pace laps. as a pace car comes down the stretch here. White flag is going to be waving up on that stand. This number 43 just one more time around here to take this checkered flag. As F43 does come across the line, checkered flags in the air. The number 43 of William Dunn does take this race here tonight, folks, leading 33 actually, of 100 laps. As now we gathered in together our top 3 here tonight.
Bye.
The number 24 of Christopher geez, man, you got a hard last name. Give me a little help here. Schletzler here up here in the booth tonight. Man, we didn't see much of your name out here tonight. First off, congratulations on your top 3.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It's a way to start the season on a very positive note, and I'm just excited that I finished one of these things. That hasn't been my my forte the last couple of years.
All right. Well, we didn't see you much up here in the front of the pack for much of this race. Saw you more towards the mid to the end. Was you playing a little strategy move there?
Honestly, it just felt like every move that I made, I kept getting in packs where I was the last car in the back. And when you're the last car, you just can't suck up on the guy in front of you. So you need somebody pushing you. And it just seemed like I was making some bad decisions and couldn't get that all night. So I was running pretty much midfield. But then towards the end, I started to get some people behind me, and we really started coming up to the front.
Well, we did see you have a good significant amount of front-end damage there. Did that seem to affect your car a little bit?
I really don't know. Like all race, like I said, I was always the last car, so I couldn't suck up anyway. I was having a little bit of trouble there the last 10, 15 laps sucking up to the car in front of me, but I don't know if that's just what I was fighting all night or if that was the front-end damage. I mean, I was hit pretty hard in that one big wreck that we had, so it could have hurt me a little bit.
All right, well, before we head you out here for tonight, is there anybody you would like to thank?
Couldn't really hear you there, but I'd like to thank my entire team and thank Fife for putting this league on, and looking forward to next week.
All right, man. Well, congratulations here tonight, and good job.
Thank you, guys.
All right, as now the number 43 of William Dunn comes up into the booth here, as the 29 does not seem to have any radio communication. Congratulations tonight here to William Dunn on your win.
Hey guys, thanks a lot.
Well, good to see you back up here once again, pre-race and post-race.
Yeah, I could get used to talking to you guys.
Oh man, we definitely saw that strategy play out for you here today. We saw you up front most of this race. Maybe laid back a little bit there. How close were you on fuel? We were wondering.
Well, I mean, it was a concern. You know, Kirkman and I were able to make our way to the front there without a whole lot of trouble at the beginning, and we're just able to stay there all race. So that was great having him up there. We pushed each other well. We're able to hold off the runs, and yeah, after that last pit stop, we just were saving fuel every caution. We were hoping for one more because we didn't know. We didn't know if we could make it or not. So thankfully we got it. And then that last restart, we were able just to race for it. So again, thanks to him, that was a lot of fun tonight.
Well, man, we definitely did see a lot of strategy out of here tonight. A lot of close racing. Definitely seen some damage on your car. Was that affecting it at all?
Yeah, it didn't feel like it really affected it. They told me I had a little crinkle on left front, left rear, but I was able to keep it out front. It felt fine. So I don't really know. It was a major concern after it happened. Lapped cars and that incident that happened. But yeah, I was able to thankfully avoid too much damage, and the car seemed okay.
All right, well, before we head you out here tonight, first off, congratulations on the win once again. Second off, is there anybody you would like to thank here tonight?
Yeah, kind of broke up there. I think you asked me if I want to thank anybody, but yeah, I got to thank Jacob Fife and the admins for putting on this league. It's a great league. Thanks to the guys on the Integrity Racing team for helping me out tonight, especially Brandon Kirkman. We worked great together. We had pit strategy together. We were just, helping each other out on those restarts. We were doing like the Cup guys do. Leader takes the outside, and we let each other in, and it was a lot of fun there. So hope you guys enjoyed the show.
We definitely did, and good job here tonight once again. All right, Dustin, well, as that ends out our night here tonight, definitely saw a great race. Heading into Atlanta next week, I'm excited to start this season off.
Yeah, definitely some great racing out tonight, and makes me look forward to next week and to see what other faces we can get up here in the top.
Me too, as we will be signing off here tonight. Non-Stop Racing TV. We'll be back next week here with the Integrity Racing League at Atlanta. My name is Zach Mecca, up here in the booth with Dustin Chosen. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a great night.